Hello and welcome back to the Backpage Podcast. I've got Stephen Sharp here. Stephen has been in the football world for quite some time, considering his age, I would say. So Stephen, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Barry. I'm Stephen Sharp and I'm currently the Technical Director at Fauldhouse United.
And this is a third time round for Fauldhouse, or second?
Third. I was there as a very young boy. Then I moved on. Then I went back, and then I moved on, and then I've ended up back. So I'm kind of like the club boomerang.
And you were started there as first aid and kit man, weren't you?
Aye. So ages 16.
Straight in.
I started off folding the jumpers, went on a first aid course, and just got involved in that side of the game, because obviously growing up I didn't really play.
And then you moved to Bathgate and did some stuff there in the back room as well, weren't you?
I was invited along to Bathgate. Again, similar role, first aid. So I was there for a season and a bit. But it was great. It was just the season after they'd won the Scottish Junior Cup. So really experienced players. So a great dressing room to kind of learn out of. And it was a really good period of time then.
And then you went back to Fauldhouse for your longer tenure.
Yes, we were there for 5.5 years, working under Davy Cowan.
You had some good results there, didn't
you? Yeah, we won the league, then got promotion right up to the Super League when it was a proper strong league. So your Kelly Hearts, your Bonnie Riggs, some real big games, and again a massive learning curve, but also at that point in time we set up an under 16s, and I then got involved in the coaching side of it. Again, just all the years of kind of learning off other managers and coaches, try to put into practice for myself.
Eventually you ended up taking over a new team, Mearns.
I ended up through in Glasgow.
That was your first management.
Well, sorry, East Renfrewshire. I keep saying it's Glasgow, but based out of kind of Barhead. Started off in Newton Mearns, but we were kind of like the team that just popped about everywhere trying to get facilities. But I cut my teeth at management through there. Again, completely different background. I always felt when I wanted to get into management, I wanted to get out of the goldfish bowl of West Lothian, because you never know, if you go in and you fail, then you're away from it. You can come back home and there's not as much eyes on you. Whereas going through there, it's like if it doesn't go well for me, I can just come back and there's no been eyes on me. But again, it was a very successful period. We got kind of promotion in our first year. So it was again great learning curve for me.
And then you had what I would class as real success with Stoneyburn when you went there, because you turned that team around pretty well.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work trying to get the community to buy in, but I went in initially as first team coach, and we were on a good run, and then COVID hit, and the manager moved on, and I got the honour to take the job on, and it was first couple of seasons very, very good, some real memorable results, and do you know what, a really good group of players. The backing for the club was great, but it was a really good dressing room. I had built a really good dressing room, a lot that I still keep in touch with, and a few that are currently at Fauldhouse with us, and that was the main thing for me. I've got a style, the way I want things. I'm very big on communication. I'm very big on standards, and they all bought into the style and the standard that I wanted to do. And the results, certainly our first year in senior football, reflected in that. I mean, if we finished 6th, and had some great runs in the Scottish Cup and things, so it was all reflected in that, and it was a very, very proud moment for me.
I mean, if anybody's ever followed your social media or followed the football social media,
they're probably really bored.
No, I mean, the big thing there for me was the way you turned the kind of atmosphere in Stoneburn's team around. Everybody was happy, everybody was enjoying playing there, everybody had a bit of passion to play there. And that was a massive turning point, I think, for for Stoneyburn when you were in charge there.
Thank you. I mean, for me, it's about having a culture.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a culture when you pull that badge on whatever club you're involved in. The players need to have that pride, and they need to realise that it's an honour to play. A lot of players now they'll get paid or they get expenses that we didn't really at Stoneyburn, but I mean, you've got to look at the people that devote their time to these clubs. Your groundsman, your kit person, you're the people that sell your pies, or the people that do it for nothing because they love the club. So you've got to get your players to kind of buy into that and go, do you know what? It's not just a hobby to them, it's a way of life.
Aye.
I want you to have that same pride, because at the end of the day, they work 7 days a week for the club, cutting grass, doing everything. All we ask 2 days during the week for training, and on a Saturday, go and give your all. And that's kind of the culture that's been built kind of throughout my full career in football, is buy into it. And once that buy-in's there, success follows.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's nice to see that, especially in a kind of lower level kind of tier. If you can show that kind of commitment in a lower level tier, I mean, this is a commitment that you should be expecting for a big tier team, you know. And it's just not there like it is in some of the smaller teams, which is a shame to see.
I speak to a lot of people in football, and it's always this kind of joke where you go, this level of football, it's a 7-day-a-week job, right? But it is. I mean, there's not a day goes by that your phone doesn't go regarding football.
Oh, definitely.
There's not a day that goes by that you don't try and do something for the football. Even when you're sitting in the pub on a Sunday, try to digest the game for the day before, you're still dealing with stuff because you've got training on a Monday, and it's just a constant knock-on effect. Even the close season this season, I mean, you don't get a break.
No, definitely.
But
no.
I don't think you would have it any other way. The longest I've had out of football in the last however many years has been like 2 months, and you do miss it.
I mean, that's your passion, and you show it in every role you've ever took. Obviously, Fauldhouse didn't have a great season last year, but I'm assuming they'll be expecting big things this year with you and the backroom staff pushing them forward. Yeah,
I mean, the manager Ian Dyack is phenomenal on the training pitch. He's great, but he's had a difficult job. He's had a big turnaround and a big rebuild, and the rebuild kind of still ongoing. But with the outlook we've got on it, we've now got 2 youth sides, a 2009's team, 2011's team, to try and build up the whole structure of the club. Our under-20s, we are now kind of overseeing that as well, and there's a great feel. And it's a lot of hard work. We've not got the budgets to compete with some of the teams run about, so our outlook is let's get our own homegrown players. Let's develop players and get them from the 20s into the first team, the 09s into the 20s, and start a culture like that. And it's great to see we've got some of the under 20s. I mean, we took charge of a game on Friday there, and we had 8 of the squad of 16 who have all featured for the first team since the end of last season. And that's what we're trying to do, promote from within and push them forward. Because at the end of the day, they're the future of the club, and it's for me it's a really positive time. Club's just got charity status as well, which is a lot of hard work, especially for a football club to get charity status. So I'm delighted at the way it's going, and I know I see the hard work that's going on in the background by everybody. We've got a very small but hard working committee as well, and you've just got to take your hat off to them, because they're the reason the club's still functioning and going to continue for another 105 years.
It's a very passionate team. It's a very passionate culture and community in Fauldhouse for sure. So I mean, it's good to see you're back there. I expect big things.
Thank you.
But despite all your accolades in football, you've done it with obviously your health condition. Which it's pretty well documented now. You've had some big wins, we'll say, in Crohn's. I mean, you had I say this with grimace, but you had the pleasure of meeting Rishi Sunak.
Last year I was down challenging the Prime Minister to do something about early diagnosis. There's people living with inflammatory bowel disease, and they've been living with it for years, and they take a year, 2 years for diagnosis. Now, that's just not acceptable. The sooner we can get diagnosed for people, diagnosis, sorry, we don't eliminate surgery, but you can get on top of things with medication and give them the best fighting chance. Now, unfortunately, when I was diagnosed at the age of 12, I started off in medication, and then my body would reject it. And by the age of 17, I nearly lost my life, which I didn't know at the time. It wasn't until after the surgery that the surgeon says to me, "You'll be glad you got that operation." And I was like, "Well, why?" And he explained that I only had probably 4 months. I wouldn't see my 18th birthday, and that was in Easter, and my birthday's in August. So that's why I'm so passionate about let's get people diagnosed quick as can. I was lucky; I was diagnosed very quick, but it was just my body was rejecting medication. We've come on leaps and bounds since 2002. Yeah. So the medication, all that side of it's come on leaps and bounds. So that's why I was so passionate. And obviously I got my meeting with the Prime Minister. Has it changed things? Slightly. Things are better, and the campaign's continuing ongoing, and it'll be an ongoing fight. But it's a fight that I'm prepared to continue to step up and battle for.
I mean, like I said before, I mean, football's your passion, but Crohn's and colitis it's your battle, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's a war. And if you take your passion into that, then I mean, there's no bounds for what you could achieve. You know.
I live with it every day, and I'd be lying if I sat here and said that the image that you see on social media and life, that I mean, Stephen's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's always got a smile on his face. I have my down days. I have days that I didn't want to face anybody. I have days that I think, God Almighty, what's even the point? I'm struggling, joint pain, struggle to get down the stairs and things, struggle to get myself perked up to go to training. But the way I look at it as well is that I've got a very fortunate position in football, and my job's to try and guide and support people, and I need to be there. So they're the reason. Like my football club, my players, everybody I work with, the committee that rely on a bit of guidance from me, I need to push myself and make sure that I'm there. And that's kind of the trigger for me, that, you know what, I am struggling. There's a lot worse off than me. So just continue to try and break down the barriers when you're struggling. I know there's times that I need to take myself away from it and kind of go, no, I need to listen to my body. But I like to know that I've got a focus to push myself on.
It definitely brings a really important point that, like you were saying there, people will see you on social media, he's a happy-go-lucky guy, and you're a very pleasant person to speak to, and you're generally very happy any time I've seen you. Yeah. But that can hide a lot of the pain.
A smile can hide so much.
Definitely. So definitely check on your friends.
Yeah.
Be smiling doesn't mean that they're happy.
100%.
But no, that you've obviously been involved in that campaign, quite a massive campaign. I know you had a lot of kind of celebrities or well-known personalities send messages as well for your campaign when you were doing when you were campaigning quite when you're campaigning, I think it was around kind of before COVID, during COVID.
Yeah. I when I've had fundraisers and stuff, I've had a lot of different celebrity backing, and guys like Ricky Hatton and stuff have all backed the campaign. Ross King, who's out in America in Hollywood, that does all the entertainment stuff for like Good Morning Britain and stuff. So all those kind of people have backed the campaigns that I've done over the years. So. Because I always said it, I've said it for the word go, that sometimes people wouldn't listen to a Joe Blogs like myself, but
they have
a personality. Oh, thank you. But a personality that people know. It kind of maybe rings true with some of them.
I mean, it definitely for me, I didn't realise so many people suffered with the condition.
Yeah.
And especially people like the people that supported you, that I've been living with this, and like yourself, that put the happy face on, you wouldn't even know.
There's over like 500,000 people in the UK that's got IBD, and everybody's got a story. But the way I've always said it, and I'll say it till the day I die, is with me campaigning, if I can help one person, I'm not looking. Obviously, I want to help more. But if I can help just one person feel confident in in the battle that they're going through, then I've done my job.
It can save a life.
Aye,
Really. It can
100%.
save a life. But through that as well, you've made some connections. One notable one is the Craig Brown, who sadly passed away last year. Yeah. Probably, I think I'm right in saying that he was one of the last managers to actually take Scotland to a couple of majors, other than Steve Clark. But he had some really kind words to say about you as well. I'll probably put up a wee snippet of the kind words he's got to say. But he obviously had a big impact on you in your life, and I know that you spent some time with him before he passed.
Yeah. I get goosebumps speaking about Brun. Just an amazing guy. I remember speaking to, I think it was Darren Jackson at his funeral, and he just had that way to pick you up. Just his cheeky wit, his humour, and if you were ever low, and there was times that we had poor results at Stoneyburn, and he would phone me up on a Saturday night or text me, right sharp, how did it go? And I remember we'd suffered quite a heavy defeat to Whitehill Welfare, and I just went, I don't know if I can do this anymore, Brun. It's just, you get dog's abuse for support and you're trying your best, and he was like, right, get yourself up to Aberdeen. I'm going to be up there. Get yourself up to Aberdeen. I spent 3 days just going out for meals, going out for drinks, and just talking football. Just talking about his experience and how he dealt with things, and God, leading the team to France 98, walking out with the to play Brazil in the opening game, and you go, wow, and he's taking his time to go, how are you getting on at your level of football? And he just made you feel so good about yourself, because you then realise that the things I'm going through in football, he's went through them. Even no matter what the levels are, you're going through them. And it was just a real good character that just always put a smile on your face. A classic Scotsman. Oh, God. I remember setting up for pre-season one year, and I sent him a picture of the session I was set up, ready to go for pre-season, and he texted me back and he went, nice to see a beautifully painted Harvest Brown fence. And I'm going, what? So weird thing you say. I'm like, aye, it's lovely. Cheers for that. But no, sorely missed by the football world. It really is. And anybody that spent time in his company has only got really beautiful things to say about him. I would imagine that's none but true. Because what you see him, I'd imagine that he was exactly how you'd see him. My football granda. Aye. My football dad. That's what he was like. But no, I mean, it's nice to know that you had the experience there. And you got some happiness from it. I know that Mark Warburton had sent you. I had previously spoke about you on our podcast as well. Yeah. Again, people at a high level are kind of in awe of the fact that despite your trials and your pains, that you've done so much. Yeah. Especially in football. I know it's your passion, but to get up, if anybody's ever played or been involved in kind of lower league football, getting up on that Saturday and it's snowing and it's hail and it's freezing and you're like, oh, for August onwards, by the way. Pretty much, aye. Most of the season. Aye. To do that, but also have your own demons. Aye. You know? I mean, even guys like Wobbs, he's been phenomenal. I met him when I was down at Newcastle. I was down taking in a game down there, and the relationships was built for then. And right through, he always finds time to a text, a phone call, how's things going. God, when they won when I was at West Ham as assistant manager, they won the Europa Conference League, and while he's in at the media day the next day getting the photos with the trophy and all that, sent me the trophy on, pictures of that, and it just, that'll be you one day, and you're going, well, brilliant, and he said, no, it won't be, but I just just having that connection and that support network's brilliant.
It's a community that you need in life. I mean, it's nice that these guys are still taking the time to show a bit of community.
It says a lot about them, because they've got a very, very high profile job, a lot of pressure, and taking the time out just to see check in and see how you're doing. It says a lot about them.
Definitely. Definitely. So on that, are you hoping to take on another role as management, or are you happy in the backroom staff right now?
I'm enjoying it just now. I think a lot of it comes down to the people you're working with. Now, if I was in an environment where I wasn't enjoying the people I was working with, I would want to branch out and do it myself. But I'm enjoying the people I'm working with. We've got a great relationship in terms of football, and you can see that where it's kind of going from first team into 20s as well, and bouncing off each other. And I can be who I am, and I don't need to hold anything back. I can go and put my instruction across and how I see things, and Ian's very much laid back with that, and as I said, really enjoy working with him. So as far as I'm concerned, I just want to get Fauldhouse successful again and take them through the ranks, and that's what we're there to do. It's
not an unusual position for you as well, because it's kind of what happened when you were in Fauldhouse for the longest period. You were part of the kind of youth development there as well, and you definitely seen some players move all the way through the ranks. So it's similar to it's a similar culture to what you've done before, and you're trying to bring it back to Fauldhouse really. So that's good.
We just want success for the people that mean the most to the club, and it's people like, and it's personal level, but people like my dad that's now the chairman. My dad supported that club for 5 years old. He was the chairman before, had a wee sabbatical to come and support me at Stoneyburn. Now he's back, and like my granddad was the treasurer, so to be able to try and take the club forward, it's not even so much for Stephen Sharp, it's for family members, it's my dad's pals that have went and supported the club for all the years. It's older committee members that have been there for 20, 30 years. That's the success I want to see, and I want to see a smile on their face, because at the end of the day, football's their lifeblood. They want to come and see a successful football team, and success always, I mean, we want to get through the leagues, but success is making sure the club's still there, building a structure so the club's strong, so that in 105 years time, because the club's 105 years old, the club's still there. It's our job to make sure the club's still there and thriving and strong, and that's what we're looking to do.
If anybody's ever in any doubt the community spirit of Fauldhouse, especially the football, I did photos for a West Calder Fauldhouse game, and I was walking through the cool shed, and there was two guys, and he goes, "Oh, can you take a picture of me?" And my pal, I've not seen him for 50 years, and he's just happened to show up at the Fauldhouse game. That's the kind of thing that happens at these games. People have been there other days, and then people move back and they suddenly find they're all pals for school 50 years later.
It's all about creating again a culture and creating an environment that people want to be part of, and that's not just in the dressing room, that's out in the terraces, that's the supporters that come through the gate. We want to all be in it together.
Definitely. So we know your next steps is just make sure that Fauldhouse continues on a good path, which is nice. What's your next steps for your campaigning for Crohn's and colitis? I know that you've obviously spoke to Rishi and stuff about early diagnosis, and you said that's got a little bit better, but there's a lot of work to do. But what's your next plan? What's your next step forward?
I think it's just really, for me, it's just trying to keep it current, keep the condition out there, keep speaking about it, because you never know the more you promote it and the more you speak about it, you never know who it's going to target. And explaining that you will have down days, explaining that you will go through certain emotions and whatever, and explaining that's normal in terms of you're going to go through all this stuff. So again, it's just about really promoting what the condition is, and the more we talk about it, the less of a stigma. It's about breaking down barriers and breaking down a stigma, and that's obviously what I want to continue to do. Obviously there will be campaigns in the future, there will probably be some bigger campaigns, but in terms of the short term, it's just continuing to get the word out there, and then the longer term, obviously based on what the charity wants to do and stuff, obviously be prepared to back it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for stuff like this, it always concerns me, and this is a personal opinion, so need to jump on anybody else but me. Do you ever feel that? Do you ever get worried that it becomes like a kind of trend, like especially with social media? I mean, ADHD and autism and stuff, that has literally became a trend on social media. People that are really needing help are getting overlooked because of this kind of persona around it. Do you ever feel like, I know that Crohn's, like I said, a massive point where it was in everybody's mind, and it kind of, like you say, it kind of not drifted away, but kind of got a bit quieter. Do you ever worry that other things are kind of just going to overshadow it, even though?
No, I think it's more a case of everybody's got their own way of dealing with things. Everybody's got their own opinion and outlook on things, and I think obviously social media is a massive platform, and it can be great. It can also have so much negativity. We had it when I met the Prime Minister. The dogs abuse we were getting. Dogs abuse I got personally. Not through friends, just through random keyboard warriors.
Trolls.
And it made me laugh because I'm like, you need to get a grip. I'm trying to run a campaign, be involved in a campaign here, and I've managed to take it to the highest person within the country. Now, don't belittle that, don't downcry it, whether your personal opinion of that person, I didn't really care. I can't do any more than take it to the top, and that's what I've done. So it's not about personal opinions, and everybody's opinion is different. That's why social media, I think some people probably look at certain things and go, this is constantly on social media, whatever, but I think if it's done in the right manner, it's just a support network for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, I mean, obviously, me personally, I don't have a high opinion of Rishi Sunak, ex-Prime Minister, but to see somebody as local as you, I mean, let's face it, we're not on the map really, are we?
No.
To see somebody actually be listened to, whether they took it on board or not, they took the time, and it was you were there, you were standing up for the cause, you know.
Right.
You cannot belittle that, like you say.
It was mad. Honestly, it was mad. Why is our charity getting involved with him? Why is my condition getting mentioned with him? And eventually, you're getting private messages through for people you don't know, and you're just like block, because I'm like, you're just a rocket. Honestly, I'm like, I'm not dealing with you. And do you know what? I thought it would have probably got to me. Probably 10, 15 years ago, it would have really got to me. Same with certain things in football. Certain, like, say, not abuse, but high opinions, unpopular opinions. It's certain things that you get targeted with. I thought it had bothered me. Nah, it was far from it. It just was like, you're behind a fake picture. You're not a real profile. You are somebody, but you've not got the balls to come out as yourself.
Yeah.
So listen, go for it. I don't really care.
Definitely. I mean, social media is full of it, you know. Especially trolls. You see it with everything. It's a shame that that's the kind of society we're in, where people are hiding behind a picture, but I think that's probably the best explanation, and how to deal with it is just block it and let it go right out of your head. Yeah, because these people they're not going to change my life, they're not going to have an impact on my life. The people that I care about around about me, they mean nothing. And then, to be fair, that's probably the only real negative experience. Yeah, I had it a few times in management, when results aren't going their way, people think they're entitled to say what they want. Sometimes it gets a bit personal, but these people don't matter to me. They're just insecure, really. They're insecure with their own lives.
Yeah.
To say the very least.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. But no, that's cool. So just give me a wee minute to think about what I'm going to say. So done that. So on your journey of your health, I know that you have your ups and down days. Are you almost what's the word I'm trying to think of? Are you kind of settled, or are you kind of levelled with your treatment now? Or?
Yeah. So I'm obviously I've had full surgery, removed my full large bowel, living with a stoma. I don't take medication for Crohn's disease at the minute. I'm on painkillers and stuff, getting gastro tablets and whatever. Fairly okay. You can still have flare-ups. With Crohn's disease, unfortunately, there's no known cure, so you're never cured of it, so you will have slight flare-ups and whatever, which I have had. Skin flares up and stuff, which is an absolute nightmare. But all in all, I'm fairly okay. But again, there's the whole factors of it. There's the physical, but then there's also the psychological side. And the psychological side is a bit of a battle at times, I'm not going to lie. However, I feel overall I'm winning the battle.
Good. I mean, a stoma bag at what age were you when you...
17.
17, I mean, it's a tough enough time for kids at 17, but to live with a stoma bag and such a massive change to your life and your lifestyle.
Well, it was unbeknown to me. I didn't have a clue what it was. Whereas now, keep an eye on mainstream telly, because it's going to be in Coronation Street very shortly. Carrickdon's Coronation Street is going to be made to live with a permanent stoma. It's due to botched surgery abroad, but it doesn't matter. It's highlighting living with a stoma, which I think is great. I think it's great that programmes like the hard-hitting programmes in terms of life stories, that they handle a lot of these situations very well. Your Coronation Streets, your Emmerdales, things like that. A lot of people watch them, so to be able to, if they do it right, I think they'll make a massive difference in terms of highlighting what people go through. I just hope that they manage to tackle it with the right decorum. But I'm sure they will. They've got enough researchers and good money to make sure they do it right.
Definitely.
And if they're struggling, pick up the phone to me.
Well,
I could be in the background in the Rovers.
He's there.
Me and Ken Barlow.
Stephen's off on his services of research.
Half pint of butter in the Rovers. I'll do alright.
Can he beat it? It's not quite the same as Lammy's though.
No, it's not quite the same. No, but I definitely wouldn't get a half pint of butter in there. Nice pint of Tennent's will do me.
No, but anyway, it was great to have you in. Cheers for sharing your story and sharing your background. I hope that again it gets the awareness out there that you can live with a really, really life-changing condition, but it's still, you can still smile.
Aye.
And you can still work hard despite the ups and downs. But it was really nice to see you again.
You too.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Cheers.